Good morning. It's Thursday, October 15th, 2020. I'm Russell, and this is Rocky Road Devotions, a few minutes of help for today's journey. Our devotion today is entitled The Profound Simplicity of Friendship. And our scripture is John's Gospel, chapter 15. I no longer call you slaves, because a master doesn't confide in his slaves. Now you are my friends, since I have told you everything the Father told me. What Jesus said to his disciples presents the stark opposite of the culture of false images or merely pretense, which we so often find in today's relationships. The profoundness of this startles me, as well as draws me into its very center, because it requires the destruction of every vestige of personal protection, opening oneself to another human, unreserved, vulnerable, trusting, without recourse. It's to be naked of any covering on who we are at our core. And to do that with another human being, given the knowledge of how that works out, beginning with, say, Cain and Abel, is, well, more than a rare miracle. In C.S. Lewis's fertile mind, the clarity of such a miracle produced a keen insight into true friendship. I'm quoting from his book, The Four Loves. Quote, in a circle of true friends, each man is simply what he is, stands for nothing but himself. No one cares tuppence about anyone else's family, profession, class, income, race, or previous history. Of course, you will get to know about most of these in the end, but casually. They will come out bit by bit to furnish an illustration or an analogy, to serve as pegs for an anecdote, never for their own sake. That is the kingliness of friendship. We meet like sovereign princes of independent states, abroad on neutral ground, freed from our contexts. This love, essentially, ignores not only our physical bodies, but that whole embodiment which consists of our family and job, past and connections. At home, besides being Peter or Jane, we also bear a general character, husband or wife, brother or sister, chief, colleague, or subordinate. Not among our friends. It's an affair of disentangled or stripped minds. Eros will have naked bodies. Friendship, naked personalities. End of quote. I believe this simplicity of unmasked or naked personalities also carries with it much more in the way of possible, if not necessary, complexity. In fact, the very unmasking of the complexity of our createdness by God promises so much more. It's only when the human stands before God and man totally unclothed, devoid of excuses, choices, resources, or remedies, that we can truly be known, even to our own minds. I believe this is what Jesus was uncovering for his disciples in this declaration of friendship. If it's true that the unexamined life is not worth living, the inverse shines just as brightly and with more promise. The fully examined life is the whole point of living. For you today, you cannot create or demand friendship. You can only recognize the presence or absence of it. Our calling is to do that and treasure what God has given. You chew on that as you hit the rocky road. Have a blessed day.